Hello, folks. I wanted to put a video together for those of y'all who were not able to join us in class on how to access the textbook. I finally got confirmation that we can get into it. It's a little bit different than I was expecting, and for that I apologize. As you can see, I am sitting on Canvas. You're going to need to log into Canvas to access the course. Now, when you go in, there's not a whole lot going on. There's not a whole lot here on the side. Because really, we're only going to be using Canvas to access the textbook. So there's two ways that you can go about doing that. Number one, here on the landing page, you're going to scroll down to the bottom to a young lady who's doing yoga. So that is way number one. You'll click that. It'll ask you to continue in a new window. It'll open a new window. Now, there's a couple of things that we have to click on as we go through, some user agreements. So you'll scroll down to the bottom of this, read through it. If you choose to click I accept, it'll think for just a little bit. And then if it ever loads. All right, so once you've accepted that first license agreement, there's another one that you'll do. You'll select your country for the data privacy. Then click continue. From there, you'll actually get into your textbook. You've got all the chapters that we're going to do. Let me go ahead and go through this. You can take your time and look at that if you need to. You can go through here all the chapters that we're going to be covering this school year. There's a notebook, so if you'd like to take notes in certain places, you can highlight text and stuff like that. There's a study section. You can create flashcards and stuff of the different words for that particular chapter. All sorts of really good stuff in here. And then they have it set up for each chapter. All right, so that's the first way that you can get into the textbook. Let me close this. The second way, so you need to be back on your home screen. And from there, if you look at the sidebar here, you're going to click Modules. When you click Modules, think of these like your project folders in Echo, okay? So we're going to look at these, and there's only two. One of them is just general resources. Some of that, honestly, is holdover from last spring, so it may not be particularly worthwhile. But this is what we want to see right here. So you go into eText. Now, if this is your first time clicking this, you'll have to go through those licensing agreements again. But like in this case, it's just going to go straight to my textbook. All right, so this time around, I didn't have to go through the licensing thing. So here's our textbook again. All right, so let me close that tab. A couple other things I want to point out to y'all that could be useful in this section are the study area, which we'll want to load in a new window. So this gives us tons of useful tools. There's study sections by each chapter. So we'll do chapter 2, that's what we're doing. There's pre-tests, practice quizzes, stuff like that. These will take you directly to those sections here in the text. Let's go back. There's animations, there's practice labs, there's actual practical images that you can look at and practice with and stuff like that. And so this is a really useful tool if you're struggling trying to remember stuff. The other thing that we want to take a look at is, back to the modules, Mastering Course Home, which contains homework. So when you open this up, you will have a list of assignments. Now, right now, there's nothing in there because we don't have any assignments, but if we do have assignments loaded in here, that's where you'll find them. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll just transfer whatever grade you're given in this into Echo, but you still have that record of finding it. You can also do dynamic study modules, which are, they will adapt based on how well you do on a series of study questions. And so it gives you, especially these gap finders, it gives you direction on what specific things you should study. So you could also do this as sort of like pre-testing and stuff like that. So let me recap then. Accessing the textbook, there's two ways. One way is back in the modules. The other way is back on the home screen. You click on the cover of the textbook. You have to access all of this in Canvas. I will also be providing resources for y'all to use, but one good one to go back on is the textbook. The tests and everything that we're going to be doing are going to be based off the content from the textbook. So if you're wondering, what do I have to know, what's going to be on the test, use my study guides with the textbook or my lectures, and you should be all right. If you have any questions, just send me a message and let me know. We can work through it. Otherwise, I look forward to talking to y'all again.